Hi, my name is Chad Phillips and I'm a student in Recent Advances in Technology. I'm going to discuss in my first presentation enablers and disablers. Over the last century, there's been many innovations that have taken on great success and others which have not. The pacemaker, which was an accidental discovery, has been labeled as one of the most important inventions of the 20th century. In contrast, the invention of Betamax for Sony and home video recording was a complete failure after VHS was introduced in 1976. The pacemaker, one of the world's biggest technological advances that very few people know about. The pacemaker is a medical device that uses electrical impulses delivered by electrodes contracting the heart muscles to regulate the heart beating. A Canadian electrical engineer named John Hopps invented the external pacemaker in 1950, but some of them were the size of televisions and they weren't really that feasible. In 1956, William Greatbatch developed one of the most significant achievements of the 20th century by accident, creating the first implantable pacemaker and using them in humans starting in 1960. The great success behind the internal pacemaker was that it maintained adequate heart rate. It took about 30 minutes to install and it only left a 3-inch scar. Modern pacemakers can now be installed without even invasive surgery, just going up through your leg and putting it in. And of course, the biggest thing behind the pacemaker is it extends your life and it keeps you alive. Here's some pictures from 1958 to 2013 which shows the difference in the pacemaker and the size. One of the biggest advancements in the pacemaker was the development of lithium batteries. Now in contrast, an industry disabler was Betamax. It was invented as a videocassette magnetic tape recording for Sony and it was released in Japan in 1975. It was eventually defeated by VHS tapes. Some of the clear reasons for failure. After the release of VHS, Betamax picture quality was found inferior. Also, the cost of a Betamax player was more expensive than VHS. In 1975, Sony limited Betamax recordings to 1 hour. After VHS was launched in 1976, it quickly took over the market share from Betamax. One of the big things was the recording of sporting events that lasted longer than 1 hour. In conclusion, the pacemaker was a success because it did stuff really well. It was easy to use, it maintained adequate heart rate, it was a simple procedure, it only took 30 minutes, left a 3-inch scar, and now it can be done without invasive surgery. Of course, the most important part is it keeps you alive and it maintains a healthy lifestyle. Betamax was a failure because of its picture quality, its high cost, and its limited recording time, which eventually ended up getting taken over by VHS.